Just when you think you done seen it all, or seen all the bullshit you could possibly see within a few days. Some more bullshit pop up. For the record, I'm not a political person. I just give my opinions, but I am a citizen who pays his taxes, who does jury duty on all that BS. So though I am not politically active, I'm still a productive member of society paying taxes, so I have every right to voice my opinion on the things that I see happening. And this is just horrible. I'm not Democrat or Republican, liberal or conservative, but I think a lot of my ideologies and arguments lean more so towards a conservative side and more towards a logical side as opposed to an emotional side, you know. But not through and through. Like, I'm not absolute one or absolute the other. But for all you people that are Democrats, especially black Democrats, I saw this mockery yesterday of those groups of Democratic politicians that had on the kente cloth and kneeled to show solidarity to George Floyd and black people in general who face injustices at the hands of people abusing their authority. That shit is fucking ridiculous, man. I've made a whole bunch of posts about it because it's such a mockery of our people, man. You can't be that old. You can't be 50 or 60 years old and you don't have like the cognitive ability to see that something that you're doing is highly offensive or could potentially be highly offensive to the constituents that you want. It's kind of like when Hillary Clinton was being interviewed by Charlemagne, and they said, "What's one thing that you keep on you at all times?" She said, "Hot sauce." What the fuck? I feel like even like as a white woman and as a politician, and you're being interviewed by black folks, even if you really do carry hot sauce on you at all times, I don't even think it would be wise to publicly say that, because it could be construed as you pandering and just being insensitive and being like blind and pig-headed. It's like one of the memes that I dropped, because it was the memes is coming out left and right off this shit. It's just, it's too easy. Somebody said, I forget who said it, but somebody said it looked like they was doing the electric slide, the part where you dip down, and they doing the electric slide at a wedding. But even with that Hillary situation, even if you do carry hot sauce, but something should click in your head. I do carry hot sauce, but I don't want to make it seem like I'm pandering with something that's so cheap. So let me just say something else. She could have said lipstick, chapstick. She could have said sanitizer wipes. There's a whole bunch of other things that she carries all the time, but she figured, oh, let me just say hot sauce. And then all of a sudden, like, because she said that, we supposed to want to vote on her? Yo, she carry hot sauce just like us. Like, we already got fooled by Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton was smooth, and he talked with that nice, smooth, laid-back voice. I did not have sexual relations with that woman, and I played jazz. I play jazz, and I fuck bitches, and I'm real smooth and cool, and I wear shades. At my inauguration, I had on shades and I was playing the saxophone. And you know, black people, the thing is, we're so enamored by great speakers and public speakers and preachers and things of that nature. We ate that shit up like a motherfucker, not knowing that this dude was going to be the main reason why the majority of the black people, or why so many black people were incarcerated during his time with the 3 strike bill that he signed. I don't know a lot about politics, but I do know a lot about that, and I know he had a lot to do with it. Very likable. Bill Clinton was very likable. But you got to look beyond the surface of the likability, man. You got to look at how he's hurting people, man. But, you know what I mean? He placated to the Negro, to the dumb Negro. Playing jazz, got the shades on, smooth and shit. He was relatively young, I think. Don't correct me if I'm wrong, but I think Bill Clinton was like 45 or 44 when he got elected as president. If I'm not mistaken, I could be wrong, but I know he wasn't over 50. That I do know. I remember them saying how young he was, comparable to Kennedy. When Kennedy was elected, Kennedy was young too. Barack Obama was young as well. But like, how many times we gonna fall for this bullshit, man? Of them doing Negro impersonations, and that's sufficient enough for us to vote on somebody. We should be highly offended. And you know what? For the most part, the consensus that I'm seeing, also, black people ain't fucking with this shit at all. There's some people trying to like, well, at least they tried. Nah, there's different ways that you can try, man. If your attempt is going to be that offensive, I'd rather you not try at all. Or if you're going to do that, just be yourself. Sign the bills. You don't got to do all these bullshit ass gestures mocking our people. The whole thing, like, yo, so many people came down on Colin Kaepernick for kneeling. So many people. He was like one of the most hated people in America. So many people came down. Now y'all figuring it out. Now y'all figuring out that people in positions of authority and power are treating unarmed black people unfairly in the country. It took y'all 4 years to figure this shit. Shit, it took y'all 60 years to figure this shit out. Took y'all 60 years to figure this bullshit out, and now, you know what? 4 years ago, Colin Kaepernick was an asshole, and he was disrespecting the flag. But now that I saw like 7 to 70 black people murdered innocently at the hands of police, or murdered unarmed and murdered at the hands of cops, and the cops getting off, you know what? After like the 69th murder, I was like, you know what? I'm going to put on this kente cloth, and I'm going to take a knee like Kaepernick, even though I hated him 4 years ago. It reminded me of like when Kaepernick first started kneeling, and Reggie, oh shit, the nigga that played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Oh my God, I can't even think of his fucking name. Yo, his name escapes me. Somebody help me out, please. He's a football player that's cooned out. He used to play for the Baltimore Ravens, man. That he got a murder charge back in like 2002 or some shit like that. Damn. Reggie Lewis. No, not Reggie. Is it Reggie Lewis? Reggie Lewis is a bad. Yo, I can't even think of his name. That's just crazy, yo. But you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, he was like, I guess Kaepernick was allegedly about to get work out for the Baltimore Ravens, and then his girlfriend like Ray Lewis. I kept saying Ray Lewis, yeah. Both of their names begin with an R. That's an easy mess up. So Ray Lewis was saying that, we want to try to work him out, blah blah blah. But if you're gonna protest, man, don't do it during the national anthem. Protest during the game. Get yourself a touchdown, and then you know what you do? You go to the end zone and you kneel because you're being successful on the field, and you're doing the protest, but it's within the context of the game. You're not doing a protest during the national anthem when the game's not even being played. So his girlfriend, Colin Kaepernick's girlfriend, superimposed Ray Lewis's face over Steven from Django. And Ray Lewis was saying that was probably the reason why the Baltimore Ravens didn't sign him, because of how he diss Ray Lewis, which doesn't make sense because he dissed Ray Lewis. He didn't do it. She dissed Ray Lewis. You know what I'm saying? She ain't dissed the whole organization. She just dissed him because she disagreed with what he was saying, with his stance on Collins, on Kaepernick's protest. So he was anti taking a knee, and then come that Sunday, I guess because it was two different factions at that time. There were people saying they was going to boycott the games if Colin Kaepernick played, right? And then there were people saying they was going to boycott the games if Colin Kaepernick didn't play. So a lot of like NFL executives like Jerry Jones and shit, they started taking a knee for whatever bullshit. I don't even know what the fuck their point was of taking a knee. Maybe, I guess, saying that they weren't trying to disrespect the flag or whatever. And when this nigga, Ray Lewis, took the knee, this nigga was on both his knees with his arms up, looking like a motherfucking slave, yo. That shit was horrible. Fucking horrible, dude, man. Horrible. But that's what these Democrats are like to me right now. It's like all these years, you know what I'm saying, you wasn't taking a knee in solidarity. You wasn't really speaking up on these issues. And, I mean, it's a good thing that folks are finally speaking up now. One thing I will say is, who cares the sentiment behind the change? The whole point is, at least things are changing. At least things are changing. So that I can agree with, man. I don't care how you get it done. Just get it done. But, you know, if I'm a homeless person, I'm starving, and you giving me some money, I'm like, take this money, you dirty ass bum. It's gonna make me feel bad, but the money's still gonna help me out. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying the Democrats are saying you dirty ass bum, but they're being very patronizing. You know what I'm saying? And they're being very condescending with that gesture. And y'all gotta call this shit out, man. You're not looking good. First, Joe Biden saying, and if you vote for Trump, if you vote Republican, then you ain't black. Like, nigga, that's how you gonna get your votes? Trying to shame people into voting about their blackness? We gotta worry about, I mean, black folks, we shame each other in the shit all the time, but now we got white folks trying to shame us into who we vote for. Let's talk about the policies. Let's not talk about the other candidate. Let's talk about what is it that you're bringing to the table and the reason why I should vote for you. Not, well, you black, that's why you should vote for me. How does that even sound? That's fucking bullshit, man. Democrats, y'all taking a major L right now, man. This shit looks horrible. I don't know how they can clean this shit up unless a lot of Democrats start speaking out against her or apologize. Because from what I heard, Cory Booker was the one that passed out the kente cloths for them to kneel in the first place. But if memory serves me correct, Africans don't really accept black Americans like that. Africans don't accept black Americans like that. That kente cloth does not represent black people in America. George Floyd didn't wear like African garb. That doesn't represent who he is. Those colors represent Africans, and no disrespect, but the issue isn't Africans being mistreated in America. As a matter of fact, Nigerians are some of the most financially successful people in this fucking country. So they don't need recognition like that. They're not the ones that are getting brutalized. It's African Americans, man, whose ancestors were slaves here. And there's no type of cloth or garb. You don't have to put your fist in the air, no cloth, no garb. Yo, just be yourself. Just be yourself. And just treat us like human beings. Treat us how you want to be treated. It's that simple, man. It's the equivalent of it's the equivalent of like, say if white people was in this position, you know, getting brutalized by cops and shit. And then, you know what I mean, like, we want to show solidarity to the whites. So all of a sudden, you just rocking like some Viking hats and like Viking like spears and shit, man. But the white people, they're from like Ireland or England. They're not even from. They're like the people we supposed to be like looking out for and showing solidarity. They're not even from like Iceland or Norway. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. And for people like black folks to co-sign this bullshit, This should be enough for you to just look at Democrats with the motherfucking side eye, yo. Because that shit is straight bullshit, yo. It's disappointing. I'm not saying I'm hurt by it. It takes more than that to hurt me. You know what I'm saying? But it's definitely like, it's disappointing, man. It's definitely joke fodder, you know. Let me pull up a little bit. I said it's definitely joke fodder, but for y'all to co-sign this shit, man, for y'all to actually think this is a good idea, like, yo, I know you trying to look out for me or look out for us. I gotta drop this delivery off. But don't mock us while you trying to look out for us. That's bullshit, man. If anything, I'll holler at y'all. Hashtag everybody need more green peas.